Hi guys, welcome to the channel. EV Daryl coming back with you. I want to hit some hot spots today. I mean, mainly because it's really hot outside. It's 95 degrees, well, mid 90s all week. Okay, and it's only 8:45 a.m. on Monday, the June 17th. So if you see the sweat running, it's okay. I'll be all right. And I'm drinking hot coffee. You know, that's how that goes. So I want to hit some topics today. It's a little bit all over the place, but I need to hit these real quick. First off, let me update you on the touch-up paint. Okay. Well, the wind must be blowing. I just saw the camera starting to do a little wobble. I don't like that. Touch-up paint called Bob Grimm Chevrolet, who is the dealer that I purchased this car from over a year ago, said, do you guys carry touch-up paint? What's the procedure? This is my color, the silver. The shop guys, the parts guys got to it. And they said, we don't have any in stock. We will order it. And the first tube is free. So I'm assuming I ordered it last week. I'm assuming it'll be in this week. They'll call me. I'm going to go over and pick it up. And I'm going to hit the touch-up paint. Maybe I'll videotape it while I touch it up. Boy, I hope that camera isn't shaking too much. I don't know how the wind, I can see it from here shaking. So if it is, I'm sorry. So we'll get that taken care of. All right. Number two, I wanted to talk about an incident I had Saturday night. My wife is currently in Florida on a girls' trip. So I decided Saturday evening, I didn't have anything going on. So I thought, why don't I go out and do a little Uber driving Saturday night? They had a bunch of surges going on. There was some kind of festival downtown Peoria. So went out. I got like an $8 surge on one call, which was nice. That's above and beyond whatever you get. I think the next one was like $5 surge or something like that. And then my third one came. And here's where the incident happened. I hadn't charged my car in a day or so. So I was down to like I had about a half a charge, about 160 miles on, I think it said. I get sent to Peoria Airport, pick a guy up. I've done that dozens of times. I go over, pick him up, get him in the car, and I don't work enough to know where that guy is going to go until I swipe that he's in the car, and then it tells me the delivery is 10 miles away, 5 miles away, wherever I'm taking him. As I'm swiping, he says, "Oh, I'm glad you picked me up. Are you ready to go to Moline, Illinois?" Okay, for those of you that don't know, the Quad Cities, Rock Island, Moline, Bettendorf, and help me out on the fourth city. Those are up in the Quad Cities, right in Iowa and Illinois border. It's 100 miles. Well, it showed 99 miles to his drop-off point. So I split for a second and said, I'm not sure I can get you there with my car. Well, he was flying home from Arizona to see his 90-year-old father for Father's Day. This was Saturday night. Father's Day was yesterday, Sunday. So I was like, all right, I'll take you up there and then I'll find some place to charge in Moline. I'm sure there's chargers in Moline, even though I haven't been there before. I've been there. I haven't charged there before. So I take off. And for those of you that drive an EV, interstate speeds, you use more energy. Okay. These cars are made for stop and go, stop and go, stop and go traffic all day long. I can average 5.3 to 5.8 miles per kilowatt in the city all day long with regenerative braking. It's unbelievable. So, but when you're on interstate speeds, 70, 75, you start using up energy. So I tell you this to tell you that. Anyway. So my energy started depleting. I had 100 miles to go at the beginning of the trip. I had 99 miles to go to his place. I think I had 161 miles on the charge. So I thought, that'll be fine. So we take off. About 20 miles into the trip, I noticed that our 61 mile or 62 mile buffer was down to 50 miles. About another 20 miles. So now we're not even halfway there yet. The buffer's down to 40 miles. So I got like 58 miles to go, and I've only got a 40-mile buffer. So I told him, I said, I hope you don't mind. I need to slow down because the slower you go, the more energy you save, you know. He said, that's fine. He had a couple of business phone calls to make. He was busy in the back. So I slowed down to 65, and it maintained that speed. Now, we had a headwind coming. It was just one of those nights, anyway. Made it to his location, drop him off at his father's residence. And by the time I got there, I think there was 38 or 39 miles left. It's in the orange, telling me you got low battery. So I drop him off and get done. He's a great guy. Had great conversation all the way up there. Then I start immediately searching for chargers. I don't see anything close, so I find there's a row of car dealerships that had like 4 or 5 of them that had level 2, like I got on the other side. I don't know if you can see it on the other side of the car, what I have in my garage. They charge at like 6.6 kilowatts, not fast. So I'm in Moline, Illinois. I'm 100 miles from my house. I got 38 miles left on my car. I drive a couple miles to this Car Auto Row. I find a charger. I plug in. By now, it's 10 o'clock Saturday night. And I'm thinking, as slow as that's charging, I'm going to be here till 2 o'clock in the morning to get enough charge to get back home. So my next thought is I got to get a level 3 charger. So I look on the map and I see a couple of Tesla chargers up on I-80. So I decided, I have ChargePoint. I'm going to count with them. So I call ChargePoint. They have a number, phone number. So I call them. A guy answers right away. And he says, can I help you? I said, yeah, where is your nearest DC fast charger? In Moline, Illinois. Now, this guy may have been 5 countries away. I don't know where he was at. He looked it up on the map, got it right away. He gave me an address at a Hyundai dealer about 2.5 miles away from me. And I couldn't find it on PlugShare, so I was kind of concerned what I was doing wrong, but it was completely my fault. So he gives me the address. I'm like, okay. So off to the Hyundai dealer I go. I pull up, I plug in, and it won't work. Now, what you need to know is I have a card reader for ChargePoint, but I didn't have a credit card on file with them because in the past, I have an EVgo card that is supposed to work on ChargePoint. They always tell me, yeah, just use that, just swipe that. You had $500 on that. When I got the card. When I got the car, they gave me the $500 gift card. And I've been using that at EVgo stations, but I also use it at ChargePoint. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. So I tried to call them back, ChargePoint. Now there's nobody answering. By now it's 10:30 at night. Nobody's answering. So I decided, I went into the app. I added my personal credit card in the app. Took about 5 minutes. And pretty soon, boom, it was online, charge. And I was able to charge. Now, as you know, don't flash here, only charges at like 55 kilowatts. I was getting like 54, something like that. And thankfully, it only took me a half hour. I got 100 miles in 30 minutes. That took me to about 138 miles, 140. and I went ahead and stayed an extra 10, 12, 14 minutes. I went to 180 miles. I wanted to have 180 miles, an 80-mile buffer in case I wanted to get going and get back home. So it was a little after 11, probably 5 after 11, 10 after 11 on a Saturday night in Moline, Illinois. Unplugged, drove home. Same thing. The winds were blowing. It wasn't a tailwind. It must have been a side wind. I burned through 40 miles of buffer in 100 miles. I went from an 80-mile buffer down to 40. I got home, I had 40 miles left on the car. Plugged it in, everything was fine. It was all well. So it all worked out. I just need to get figured out why my free EVgo card will not activate the charge point. And I'm going to call EVgo today to speak with them. So brings me to my last two topics. As many of my followers know, you guys write some wonderful comments. I appreciate everything you guys put in. It's been fantastic. I like it. I love dialogue, but there's also haters out there. And for some reason, these trolls want to write very disrespectful, mean things, and I delete those. And I want them to know I'm going to ban them when they do that. If you don't like an electric vehicle, don't buy one. But you don't have to say disparaging things. Just say, I love my 1978 Barracuda, or whatever. That's great. I like that dialogue. I subscribe to numerous auto mechanics who do repairs on cars all the time. I like that. I don't go out and say, you got a gas car. I don't ever hate. I would never write any disparaging words on someone's page. So just want you to know that. If you write something very derogatory, troll, you're out. Okay? So brings me to my final topic, Tesla. So my car is still not here, June 17th, okay? On their page, on their app, it still says between the 19th and the 30th, it's supposed to be here. I really have some concerns about that. I have spoken twice with the salesman. He reiterates over and over, since I have an actual date between the 19th and 30th, he is very, very optimistic that it'll be here. We have a trip to Colorado in July, and I would love to take the car. It's early July, too. I don't think we're going to have time for it to get in, get PPF put on it for the trip. I still don't have a VIN assigned. It's been, 3 weeks now that I ordered this car? 3 weeks ago today, actually. Yeah, on Memorial Day. No VIN assigned. I think they're overwhelmed. I think the low interest rate, I said it on my last video, the low interest rate just, tons of people ordered cars. So I think they're backlogged on making the cars. Now, he did tell me on the last phone call that my car, since I got dual motor, long range, white seats, 7-passenger, they make them in batches. So they will be making that in a batch whenever that is due. But he's trying to reiterate to me that it'll be in here on time. Now, even if it's produced this week, optimistic, I don't think they can ship it from California or from Texas on a car carrier within a week, and I can get it by the end of the month. Just my opinion. So I brought my coffee out. I just wanted to sit and talk a little bit about those subjects. Not a big video. I just wanted to get right to the point about these 4 or 5 things. So I appreciate everything, guys. I'll keep you updated. There's just been nothing from Tesla. I have to be the person making contact. So when I get that paint repair information or tube in, I will pick it up, and I'll probably do a videotape while we're trying to fix those rock chips. All right. So everybody stay tuned. Please like and subscribe, and stay safe.